What's up, y'all? So I'm currently in the process of moving, but I had to come make this video. So this is specifically for the men, at least coming from the perspective of a man. And this might also help with women. I'm not exactly sure, but I know that as being a man that this could potentially help a lot of you that are struggling with this. And that is watching pornography and even masturbating. Like, there are so many harmful things that come with actually watching pornography, masturbating. And in this video today, I'm actually going to share with you a few of those harmful things that happens when you are addicted to those two things and how you can actually overcome them. So I would say that I first got introduced to pornography when I was younger, maybe when I was like 11 or 12. And I basically ended up just becoming addicted. I became addicted to being or seeing women in that specific way. And I didn't realize how much that actually messed with my brain. And when I did actually start to become, sexually involved, and I didn't necessarily have a relationship with God and didn't know anything about, basically withstanding from sex before marriage and those different things, it really caused me to see women as objects. And before I actually, came to have a relationship with God and not just going to church, I would just see women as objects. I'd be like, oh, she has a nice body, or, oh, she looks good. And I would automatically just start thinking about sex. Then once I actually gave my life to God and started having a relationship with God, then I started to see, man, I've been wondering why I haven't been able to find a wife. And I have been wondering why I haven't been able to really find a quality girlfriend. And at that time, and then, how I wasn't being able to be prepared to be a husband for a wife. And that is because my idea and the way that I viewed women was very, very horrible. And one of the bad habits that I really just listed is the fact that when you are addicted to pornography, when you are addicted to masturbating, basically for men specifically, that causes you to view women as objects. That keeps you from being able to see what a woman really has to offer as far as what substance does she have to offer. And when it comes to choosing a wife, you have to be able to have discernment. You have to be able to understand what the qualities of a woman actually are. And when you are over sexualizing women or just seeing women as objects, you will not know if the woman that you are dating or if the woman that comes into your sphere or into your realm is a good quality woman if all you are thinking about was sex. Now, many people always say, sex is important for men and all this other stuff. Yes, it's important. However, in a controlled environment, that is when sex is supposed to happen. And that controlled environment is marriage. Now, the second thing that I just kind of alluded to a little bit is the fact that many men struggle with finding a quality woman because the first thing that's on your mind is sex. Now, when I was having sex, this is one of the things that I realized. It definitely messes with you when you're in that intimate moment, and that's not the only way to be intimate, but when you're in that physical intimate moment, you start thinking about, well, man, I wonder if, she can do this, or I wonder if she can do that, or I wonder if she can do this. And that really ends up taking away from the actual moment that it's supposed to be. So many people, and I'm going to use this word, and this is just me being transparent, but so many men watch pornography and then they get into having sex with women, and you want them to do all this freaky stuff that they're doing on, watching, or when you were watching pornography. And you're not understanding that these people that are actually doing these things are actually actors. They are basically acting on doing this stuff, and that is really not real life. And that's what's keeping you from being able to find a quality wife. So now those are the two things. One, it crashes your mentality when it actually comes to your discernment of deciding what type of woman you need to be with and actually knowing what a quality woman is. And number two is you end up having these fantasies, which ends up messing up your intimacy with your woman. Now, how do you actually overcome this? Now, I was actually reading this book. It's called Atomic Habits. And for a while, I really was like, man, I really want to break this habit. I really want to break this habit. And even, this may not just be with, masturbation or pornography. It could be with maybe eating, or maybe, you're cursing a lot, or maybe you're just doing things that are not really allowing for the image of God to be seen through you, or even for you to be seen as a man or seen as a woman when you're not around people, and you're not putting up this image or this mask on every time you're around people. So I was reading this book, and it said that one of the things that people have a misconception of is they don't understand the fact that habits are basically like a neural pathway that are in your brain. And so many people focus on breaking a habit that it ends up causing them to slip back into the habit. And instead of actually breaking the habit, what you need to do is you need to override the habit. So overcoming masturbation, overcoming watching pornography, what are some things that you can do to help you overcome that? Well, one thing that I started to do is I started to go outside and go for walks. And people might think that that's weird. However, it was the quickest thing that I could do to get out of the house, because I realized that one of the reasons that I was watching pornography is because it had became a habit. And number two, I realized that habit came when I was bored. It's like, oh, well, I can just do this right now because, I'm kind of feeling it or whatever. So one of the things that I started to do, and one of the things that I began that actually helped me, was I replaced that older habit, or I overrided that older habit with a newer habit. And that newer habit was going outside and walking. Now, little by little, as I kept walking and walking, next thing you know, I started going to the gym. Next thing you know, I started going to play basketball, and I started doing other things like, also reading books. And this allowed for me to override the habit. So immediately when I have a thought about watching pornography, or even a thought about masturbation, I would just say, hey, look, let me get up and go for a walk. Or, hey, let me, go read a book, even if it's just one page of a book, and let me think about what I just read. And these are some things that you can actually do to help you overcome masturbation, overcome being addicted to pornography and masturbation. And even if you are addicted to sex, and you may want to hit somebody up, and you're like, hey man, I just want to go and have sex with this girl. Or, for ladies, you might want to have sex with a guy. Instead of doing that, if you are not married, what you need to do is you need to go and actually replace that with something that is more productive. Go and read a book, go out and go for a walk. I found that going out and going for a walk, or going out and exercising, that actually helped more, because it allowed for me to basically get that adrenaline rush going, and it ended up causing for that to go away. So I don't know who this is for. I know I'm being a little transparent and vulnerable, but I know that there are many people out there that are struggling with this, and I'm not the only one. I just wanted to come and share this in hopes that it would be able to help you on your journey of not just becoming a better man or a better woman, but to just be a better person for God. So I will catch y'all later. Time to get back to this moving.